I am sick and tired of this tan. Look at it. It's so prominent. I went to the pool the other day and I was really hoping that this would diminish, but I guess not. So can we just pretend that it's not there? I would really appreciate it if we would just pretend it's not there. Hello everyone, it is me, Tatiana, and I am back with another video. So it has come to my attention that a lot of people believe that I just don't like books, that I only read books that I do not like for the sole purpose of making fun of them. And while that is somewhat true, I promise you guys, I genuinely love to read books, and I have been reading other books aside from the ones that you see on my channel where I just poke fun of. I am literally gonna read about 2 books before I start reading Reaper's Creek because my brain just needs a break from, oh my god. It needs a break to recover, okay? I've read 2 of Oni Sam's books and I read Lele Pond's book. Like, I need to calm down. I need to. So the majority of my favorite books are young adult contemporary. However, I do have about 2 fantasy books that I do want to discuss. Can you qualify one as fantasy? They're not fantasy. Wait a minute. One of them is a dystopian franchise and the other is, you saw the thumbnail. So let's just talk about the books that I genuinely really love. So before I get started, I just want to point out that I just hit 6,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? You should totally subscribe and join the club. I still don't know what to name you guys, but I mean, I'm open to suggestions. I got like 2 ideas, both of which they were recommended to me, and I'm just like, I don't know which one do I want. And all of my social medias in the description down below. I'm pretty active, especially on Twitter, so you should totally follow me on Twitter. If you want to talk to me, your best bet is Twitter, so follow me on Twitter. Alright, so let's get started. So a book I'm currently reading is Eliza and Her Monsters, and a lot of people have told me that if I really liked this one book, I would like Eliza and Her Monsters. I have not gotten too into it just because I've been super busy with Camp NaNoWriMo. However, it is a work in progress. I think I'm only 8 pages in. But people have told me that if I loved Fangirl, that I would love Eliza and Her Monsters. Now, look, I love this book. I will die for this book. I absolutely relate to everything about this book. Being in a fandom, writing fan fiction, having people tell you that it's not real writing because it's fan fiction. Stop that right now. Stop that right there. We all love to poke fun of fan fiction, okay? I have had my fair share of Zayn Malik fan fiction where I'm the main character. Yep. Self-insert fanfiction. I did write it. I know that's what I dragged Onision for. I know that's what I dragged Lele Pons for. However, I think it's important to note that I wrote it when I was 14, 15 years old, and then after that was when I progressed to actual main characters that were not myself, and I wrote several stories regarding the boys of One Direction with several different characters. This book is not a long read. It is just long enough to distract me for a week, and I'm taking my time with other projects. I love this book. I think it's absolutely adorable. The relationship, man, the relationship between Kath and Reagan is just, it's absolutely adorable, and I could never. Wow, I didn't even talk about what this book is about. So it's about this girl. Her name is Kat. She has a twin sister. Her name is Ren, and she and Ren are finally going off to college for the very first time, and they have grown up, and all they've done is hang out with one another. Like, they were pretty much 2 peas in a pod. And then Ren all of a sudden is just like, I kind of want to be my own person, so some space would be much appreciated. And Kat is like, like, no, please, no. And she's pretty well known on the internet in the Simon Snow fandom, which is a book series pretty much like Harry Potter. It's the Harry Potter in this universe, and she's well known in the fandom for writing fan fiction. So it's pretty cool because a couple of excerpts of her fan fiction is actually found in this book, and you kind of like get the idea of like what she's writing, and I think it's super cute. I could be wrong. I believe Rainbow Rowell, who is the author of this book, actually brought that fanfic to life. I don't know. Some people say, yeah, it's a fanfic, and then some people are like, it's not exactly the fanfic. So I definitely have to pick that up because I feel like I kind of have to. I mean, I have Fangirl. I kind of need Carry On, which is the fanfic of that Kat is writing. But yeah, highly recommend this book. I think it's absolutely adorable. Okay, I'm gonna stop. This next book is a recent read, and I absolutely love this book. I think it's very, very important. It's a very important read, especially with everything that's going on in the country. So this book is called Internment, and I refuse to say her name because I always butcher it. But there we go. That's the author. And you know what? This is probably one of my favorite books this year. I believe this is a new release from this year or maybe late last year. Either way, new to me. I read it this year and I absolutely love it. I think I only read it in like 3 or 4 days. I don't know. I don't want to go into too much detail about it just because I did mention this book in my reading vlog where I gave it praise and I also reacted to Stones to Abigail. It's pretty early in the vlog if you want to go back and just watch that one part. I'll leave a link in the description. This book is about a girl and she is a Muslim, and the president, which is, it's heavily implied that it is Trump, even though it doesn't say it. There are a lot of things that happen in the book that are referenced to real things that Trump has said in real life. Look, I don't want to talk about politics. Okay, I know, I'm irritating. Look, this is not a political channel, but if I have to say it now, let me say right now, I'm not fond of Trump. I feel somewhat comfortable saying that just because I don't feel like he did a lot during Hurricane Maria. In fact, he pretty much insulted the people, and I lived through Hurricane Maria. I actually moved to Florida because of Hurricane Maria, so pretty heavy bias as to why I don't like Trump. But you know, I feel like he attacked me personally, so I didn't like him before, but like that really just I can't let it slide. I'm not doing it. Anyway, there is a ban on Muslims, and a bunch of Muslims are sent to internment camps that are very similar to ICE today with child immigrants and just immigrants in general. I think it's a very, very, very important read. It's pretty short. I read it in like 3 or 4 days. I highly recommend it. I really love it. I think it's great. I cried several times reading this book. It takes a lot for me to cry, honestly, when it comes to like movies and books and songs, but this book really made me cry like on 2 or 3 separate occasions, and I'm just like, oh my god, this book is so great. It's so great. Let's kick it back with a throwback. So I read this book in the 7th grade and I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite books. I found it at Goodwill one day and I picked it up right away. It is My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I hate the movie. We're not going to discuss the movie. I'm not fond of the movie. They changed the ending completely, and because of that, I give that movie a 1 out of 5 stars. They changed the ending of the movie to be the most predictable ending. I am so offended. It's about a girl, her name is Kate, and she has cancer. So when she was diagnosed as a little girl. So what her parents did, she was given pretty much a little sister. She was a designer baby, I believe. So they like made her in a dish to have all the perfect traits to be a perfect match for Kate. So if she needed blood, you get Anna. If she needed bone marrow, get Anna. Like, Anna's the name of the girl, of the sister they designed. Then Anna puts her foot down, and she's 13. She puts her foot down. She's like, I am not doing this anymore. and she goes to she sues her parents, basically, to rights to her own body. And this book is just a roller coaster of emotions. It is... I cried. I genuinely cried the first time I read this in 7th grade. I was a mess in that classroom. I'm just like, oh my god, give me a minute. Like, it's so good. I think I've been pretty open on this channel about how I feel about this book. I think it's an amazing read, and I reread it several times. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I am a fake fan because I have yet to watch the movie. Roast me in the comments. Go right ahead. I have not seen the movie. I have read this book countless times. I love it. So when I moved from Puerto Rico, I actually bought this at a bookstore in the airport, waiting to board the flight. And I didn't even know anything about this book. I have been out of the booktuber circle for quite a bit. I had no idea about this book. I had no idea it was going to be made into a movie. I just read the little blurb on the back. No, these are reviews. On the inside, and it's like, activism? Yes, please. And oh my god, the price is still back here. I paid $18. I paid $18 for this book. But you know what? I do not regret it. I think it's an amazing read. I'm not going to go into detail about what it is. I think we all know what it's about. It's very emotional, very real. I think everyone should read this book. I think I love it. I love it so much. Alright guys, we getting a little controversial here. I think it's time we discuss the Twilight series. I know what you guys are thinking.
How are you gonna make fun of all these books and then say Twilight's your favorite?
Look, guys, Twilight, I have not read this book. I have not read this book. I have not read this book franchise since middle school. I bought all the books at my library bookstore for $6. The whole collection. All of them are hardcover except for this one because they just didn't have the hardcover for this one. But damn it, if I find it, I'm going to buy it. This franchise just holds a near and dear place to my heart. I know for a fact if I were to reread it, I'm not going to like it. And because of that, I have not reread it. I think I'm gonna reread it for a whole month, like the entire franchise, after I read Harry Potter. I don't know. Okay, I don't know, because I'm kind of scared to revisit this series now as an adult, having read so many other books that I'm just like, yes, most likely I am going to hate it. Okay, I'm saying that right now. Most likely I'm not going to enjoy reading these books as an adult, but I have so many great memories with this franchise. The first time I watched this movie, I was watching it with my cousin on my desktop computer. She was sitting in the chair, I was sitting on the bed, and she had moved the monitor so we could both watch it. We watched it through this illegal movie sharing website, and we just... it changed my life. As soon as I watched the movie, I was hooked. My mom got me pretty much all of the books. I loved it. I saw New Moon with my cousin in theaters. Eclipse I rented from Redbox, I believe. And then Breaking Dawn. Y'all know I saw Breaking Dawn in theaters. Let me tell you something really quick. Watching a Twilight movie in theaters is an out-of-body experience. It is amazing, okay? Like that scene where we thought everyone just died in Breaking Dawn Part 2, but then Alice is like, just kidding, this is what your future could be. Literally, the whole theater was roaring. I was roaring. I was shook. Yo, it's so good. And if I could go back in time and rewatch all of the Twilight movies, but they have to be in theaters, I will do it. Can my local theater just do that? Just a Twilight marathon in theaters. Like, I would very much like that. But for now, I guess I'm just gonna have to settle with watching all the movies on Hulu. so happy they're on Hulu. But it is not the best series, okay? I know, I'm fully aware that it is not the best series. And I hold a very heavy bias just because this is nostalgia. I know. But I just want to stay loving this book franchise. I don't even know if I want to reread them. Wow. I just don't want it to like ruin my teenage years, you know? Like, and finally, the last book series I want to mention that were my favorite. I don't have them, and frankly, I kind of don't want to repurchase them just because I know I'm not going to like them. However, I had a great time reading them, and I was very active in the fandom on Twitter, and the fandom on Twitter was honestly just like defending how it's completely different from the Hunger Games. Look, it is Divergent by Veronica Roth. I do not want to talk about Allegiant. I don't care for Allegiant. However, Divergent and Insurgent, oh my god, love it. My family, we couldn't afford cable, okay? We couldn't afford cable. And really, internet-wise, you only caught me, like, watching One Direction videos and tweeting about One Direction. Like, I just was so unaware of movies. Honestly, I really was. I didn't know anything about movies unless, like, my friends, like, introduced me to a show. Like, we need to watch this. I'm not even joking. Like, we couldn't afford cable. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So I had no idea that Divergent was being made into a movie. So when I went to Costco that day, because, not that day, but the day that I'm like looking back on, that day, I walked into Costco because there were no bookstores. There were no bookstores near me. It was a tragic time, honestly. When I saw Divergent and I read the premise and I read on Goodreads the reviews, I'm just like, well, I mean, I guess. So I picked up Divergent and I loved it. I loved it so much. I thought it was an amazing book. I had not read The Hunger Games. A lot of people compare it to The Hunger Games. I've seen The Hunger Game movies. I don't really see how it's The Hunger Games. It's kind of I feel like I want to make a video about this and just like, but for that I'd have to reread Divergent, and I kind of don't want to. And I need to read Hunger Games for the first time, and once again, I kind of don't want to. I don't know, please let me know if you guys want to see like a comparison between the Hunger Games franchise and the Divergent franchise. We're not discussing movies, we're just not, okay? We're not gonna do that. I watched Divergent, I watched Insurgent, and by the time Allegiant came out, I had forgotten about the series. Insane Reader, love him. I'm gonna leave a link in the description because he made a video talking about Divergent, and it's like half an hour long, and you know I sat there with a good snack and watched the whole thing to its entirety, and I related to everything. I know for a fact if I were to reread it, I would not enjoy it. So once again, nostalgia. But yeah, guys, those are my favorite books, and I do not regret making this list. I know, I feel like me saying Twilight was like so good, like I loved it. Yeah, I'm gonna get dislikes, let's be honest here. I love so many books, but I just really wanted to like really limit my selection. So these are like, when you ask me what are my favorite books, these are like the first ones that pop into my head. But I really do have a lot more books that I'm very fond of. I am also super into suggestions, so please like suggest books. I love reading books. I love finding new books. Please suggest books in the comment section below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you didn't like it, leave a dislike. It's totally fine. All opinions are my own. Please respect that. But if you don't, I mean, they're YouTube comments. Like, what do I care? Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. I don't know what that was.